All right, guys. So first and foremost, I want to say rest in peace to everybody who dies today. Everybody. I want to say rest in peace to everybody who lost a loved one recently. Condolences to them. But obviously, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. So freedom of speech, guys, is not free. It is not free. That's what makes this country unique. You have to be brave and courageous to speak your mind, speak your truth. And a truth when the spirit of the times, the spirit of the zeitgeist, the spirit of is opposite of what you say. It's opposite of what might be important and to you or important to I think of young people. We have a lot of disrespectful young people that have lost morals and ethics and values and just want to be cool. They want to be cool. They want to be a part of something. You think back to China in the early 20th century when Mao Zedong came about, and when he was losing power, he let go of being the face of China at that time, of the party. I believe he was still the chairman, but he was no longer the face anymore. But then he came up with I don't think it was a great leap forward. It might have been the great leap forward, but he started using propaganda to rile up the young people. And the young people started killing their own professors. They started killing small business people. They started using the idea that these were imperialists, these were capitalists, these were counter-revolutionists. And who do they use? They use the young people. So because the reason why I say this, I had a vision of young people and why they have ideas about things. We have a lot of spoiled people here in America, a lot of spoiled children, and then we have children who their parents suck. We have shitty human beings in America, and is it our fault? Is it our fault that we're shitty? Is it our fault? Is it our fault we're selfish? We're 30-something, 40-something, don't want to get rid of our dreams. We're still immature. We're still childish. We want to be superstars. We want to be famous. We want the world to know us. That's why nobody supports anybody. Nobody supports. And I am of the brown American community. The brown American community. And we don't show support to each other. We don't show support to each other. We don't help each other. And I'm talking about, like, when it comes to art, we don't support each other. It's strangers who support us. And there is a problem. People do get support though. But it's not until the fans, what they call the fanatics, the fans, the supporters who don't know you or just fans of your artwork, then they'll support you. Then they'll, like, because maybe what you could do for them. But a lot of times it might even be jealousy and envy because, they know you more than the fans know you. The fans see an ideal. The fans see you through how you made them feel through your art. And the people of your community, the people in your neighborhood, they see you as the person, whatever. But so these are the children of shitty people. I don't want to say shitty people, but like, if we're here fighting for scarcity, or what they say is scarcity, right? That means we're competing. That means I need to get more than the next man. That means lack of community. And that means you're working to pay your bills because it's more expensive, so you don't have friends. And then your children don't know how to be a friend, so that eventually they don't have friends. And then you create lonely people. And these lonely people do this fucking antisocial shit where This guy's trying to be a hero for some underground community. I remember I had this sociology class, and I spoke a lot in there. And I remember telling the teacher this. Maybe not a lot of people understood. I said it's kind of sad because, and it's hard to be understood, and it's hard to say this because you're literally talking about people who are a product of this, like this transgender people. How do you get them to see that it's okay to say that it's not normal who you are, and to admit that it's not necessarily ideal? But the argument is like, well, what's ideal? Everything's relative. What's ideal? Everything's just it's nominal. Everything's just a name, and names don't really matter. Like, if a guy says he's a woman, he could be a woman. Like, it's just how you feel, right? That's the liberal. That's when things get out of hand. That's where liberalism becomes, quote unquote, the far left, like way out of bounds. Far something is just way out of bounds, right? And it makes sense in a lot of ways. But then you got this young man, right? And then even talking about religion gets a little cringe. Like, when rich people talk about religion, it's hard to really respect religion when rich people are talking about it. We live in a place where rich people could do a fucking pyramid scheme when it comes to religion, and then they use the same words like a parish or whatever it's called. When back in the day, when someone had a church, they could put, like, they could have a house on it for the main pastor, the main preacher or priest of that church. And then these rich people who have these mega churches, they use these excuses, but then they buy this big plot of land, but then that land's under the church so it doesn't get taxed. And really, it's like, but like, where's the boundaries there, right? And so you have this young man. I heard like a whoop. Hopefully I didn't get to work, but it's fucking traffic. So you have this young man trying to uphold freedom of speech, literally living as the Constitution says is our right. But again, we're humans, dude. That's why women get fucking, there's restraining orders on men. That's why women have men pick up their children at fucking police stations who don't want to give them up or talk shit to them. Or that's why, like, freedom of speech is not free. People, if they could reach you and get to you, they could, like, yes, they may go to prison, but you're dead, right? Yes, it's not right what they did, but they still got to do it. And we still have to live. Laws are only made to limit people. It doesn't really necessarily stop them. It doesn't stop them. And in this case, it didn't stop that man from killing Charlie Kirk. And Charlie Kirk didn't seem crazy. He didn't seem like a crazy person. He seemed rational and reasonable. And you don't have to agree with everything he said. Like I don't agree that Palestinians weren't people. Not as much as I agree with, I think transgenderism is like a fucking, it's a disease created by liberalism. But I also could see there is a far fucking conservative that wants to use conservative values to just really conserve their position in life. And I also think there's a phony ass democratic side that just wants to uphold liberalism, but in really behind closed doors they're conservative, or maybe they profit off of liberalism, or they just would rather keep you weak by being liberalized and radicalized. You know, I see a far right and a far left, where there's fucking rich people that are conservative, just want to conserve their position in power, but then with that they are trying to conserve freedom of speech, and but there might be some democratic constitutionalists that see a need for people to be free and liberal to a certain extent, but not let fucking man beat the fuck out of women, or not fucking allow children to think that they're a sex that they're not, and allow them to be delusional, and then take on this thing, and then when somebody talks against that they start cheering that he got killed. I think that's insane. And we just saw a man get killed on a live platform, and it's on to next week. We just like, I don't know. It's like just pick them apart, And so he was for Christian spiritual values. He was for trying to uplift fathers, trying to get black people to not rely on a system. And he wasn't perfect, but I think he had courage, a tremendous amount of courage, and he died and he upheld the Second Amendment. He was against federalized registry owning guns, and it's a slippery slope, It's like we shouldn't just be allowing anybody to have guns. I saw something where he said, he agreed that people should get better training with guns before they're just allowed to buy a gun. But do we want our government to know exactly everybody who has a gun, that legally owns a gun? Well, no, that gives them a list to be able to take them away. That was his position. But I think we do need to be careful who we let buy guns, for sure. Should guns be taken away from someone who committed a crime forever? I think it depends. Right? So, unfortunately, he's dead, man. And do I think it might have been some powerful people, even on the conservative side? Because I saw this thing. Tucker Carlson said that Charlie Kirk actually had a meeting with Trump and said, I don't think as American it's good for America, America first. I don't think it's good for America for us to go to war with Iran, right? And he was a supporter of Israel, and he based that off the Christian Bible, which could be a little antiquated, which could be based off specifics on how Israel's actually approaching defending itself. Are they defending itself? Are they taking advantage of people? Are they bullying people? Are they fighting for their existence? Like, it depends, because even God, and Second Chronicles, I'm reading Second Chronicles right now. Judah and Israel are divided. A lot of kings of Israel are not doing right, and God allows the Syrians to defeat them in certain parts of the book. God allows them to be under their rule because of the rebellion, whether it's at that point because of who their king was. It's a kind of karmic, right? And maybe the way it's written, everything's credited to God, the Christian, everything's credited to the God who would eventually become the same God who sent his son down, which would evolve the Christian religion, which is the same God of the Bible, right? And because of the lack of dominance and actually being taken over at that period of the Bible, and as it was written, they credit it because of the rebellious and the going away from the God of the Bible's doctrine, or the commandments of Moses and the teachings of David. And so they credit it to, like, okay, you guys were serving Baalim, you guys were fucking ruining the house of God, and that's what happened. You guys had an evil king, and so I had to give you up to the Syrians, and you were under them, or you're going to war with the Ammonites and these other people. And so there's an argument there, like, do we always have to be backing up Israel? And then it's just hard when we have these rich people who want to talk about God. It's like, you claim to be a Christian, but what did Jesus do? I think Charlie Kirk was more courageous than all of them, because he was actually allowing himself available to people. It wasn't hiding behind he was actually there, And so I see some people on the internet, some people that actually knew growing up, saying, do stupid things, play stupid games, things happen. Like, it's kind of disgusting. It's disgusting. And I just think he was courageous to me. Whatever definition gangster is, he died like a gangster, man. He died literally by a gun, the same guns he was upholding, the same guns that the Constitution allows us to have as American citizens. He was for that. And man, you see the video when the bullet hits him, the force of it just shocked him. And then the blood just gushes out of his neck. It's almost an image of like when God got pierced, you know? Not to say he's God, but like America has its ugly, ugly history, but people still would rather be here, man. People still want to come here. And we allow you to come here as long as you're going to assimilate, you're not going to radicalize, and you're not here with bad intentions. You can be here. You can stand in line and you could be here. And should we just allow people to come in like real easily? I don't think we should make it easy for people. Especially like we're still a young country. I think these are going to change, and it's a privilege to be here in America. It's a privilege, man. It's a privilege. If you're born here, it's your right to be here. But for those who aren't born here, it's a privilege, right? And like when people are successful, they say, man, I'm just blessed and I'm lucky and I'm privileged. It could be all those in one. Like if you're hurting people, then they could take away your rights, right? You go to jail and prison. And that's sort of the diminishing of your autonomy, right? You're in prison. You're not necessarily autonomous anymore. You don't have freedom because you're hurting people. And you're a danger to society. To civil society, to civil existence. Again, this guy wanted to be a hero and thought he was taking out someone who was a bad person. I don't know, man. I think people, I don't know, he's already killed. He's been killed already. And best case scenario is just a radical. And it's not some people that were supposedly conservatives as well. Remember, we have enemies in this place that want to keep things fucked up and divided, right? There's people that want to keep it divided. And it's people with money. And is it those who are fake conservatives who want to go to war, or neocons who want to go to war? They're like, no, Charlie doesn't want war. He wants peace. He's trying to teach people to do better. He's trying to teach people to believe in themselves and not be fucking stuck on bullshit, be stuck on the fucked up history of the beginning of America, slavery. Like, trying people to fucking believe in themselves and work and love their family. And then there might be some people on the far left that also have money, but are of non-white rich people in America that we've allowed to make money off our country. And they see that he was just trying to bring up white people. It just so happens that because we forgot that this is a white country, it's predominantly white. And now they feel and so it's we have a thing here when we look at a group of white people. We need to look at it as they're Nazis, or not Nazis, they're KKK. And yes, there's some fucking radicals, but like the white American who sees like somebody from a different ethnicity, but they're not born here, right? They see them. They're not of this culture. They're not of the American culture. And so they might not like that they're here. That's not racism, I don't think. I think that might be nationalism. That might be like, oh my God, I got to accommodate for you. Who's accommodating for me? You're over here, like you have like a healthier, you come here with a healthier brain. You're over here starting businesses. Like you don't pay taxes. But I'm supposed to pay taxes. Like no one ever taught me to be business savvy. Like my mom sucks. And yes, there's gonna be people that disagree with that. That doesn't mean that they don't like you, because they might not like the fact that you're allowed to come here and do all this, right? So they're anti-immigration, but they're pro-America first because of that. Like, we should be helping us first as citizens here. And so I don't think you can be quick to call it racism. I think if both of us have to speak the same language, and we're both born here and seem to be educated here, and it seems like you fuck with America, but I still don't like you because of your color, then I think you can probably say that's racist. But I think that's I think it's just difference of behavior and values and ethics and culture. And I think that's wrong if you come here and you just want to implant your values here. Or like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, people who, like, where I work, right? Sometimes I see like a kid who's seems to be raised in the same educational system as me, talks like me, but his parents are immigrants. And then I see them, I look at the parent, I look at him or her, and I say, it's sort of weird how you're raised in a household who's not American. It's like you're caught in between a little bit. It's like you're caught in between. That's difficult, it is difficult, but anyway, I just hope that it wasn't some dark forces. But we got to remember, we have people here that don't want America to. They want it to be fucked. They want these radical people. They want irrational, unreasonable people who won't listen, who just be quick to emotions. But again, it's such an interesting time if you study this thing, or if you like to just ponder on it and play with the thoughts. But yeah, it's I don't know. I think at the core of it, he was trying to do good, and I don't know. I think this is just a disease of liberalism. And this is a disease of capitalism, man. I think so. I don't want to say this because I'm not a communist, man. I think if we could live in a utopian world, that'd be cool. But we just people taking advantage of being able to buy and sell, supply and demand. I think this is a disease of that. A disease of Hollywood and over-sexualizing our communities, over-sexualizing kids, and things are too expensive, and we have these bureaucrats spending all our money, so inflation and everything's too expensive, and taking jobs away from here and moving jobs overseas and trying to like overthrow or just utilizing economies that are growing, and because they're cheap, we manufacture over there or we import from over there. It's exploitation. It's just a few people capitalizing, and it's just a disease, man. And then you have these people funding these movements, and it's pretty sick in itself. It's just, we live in a fucking entanglement right now. This is all entangled right here. And I don't know. I think people who come here, they should be grateful. And I think we should definitely be trying to help out our own children to be industrious and believe in themselves and start businesses and have confidence and not be so emotional, to become comfortable with their emotions. Learn how to respect, Learn how to respect. I don't know if this world if it can go backwards, man. Kids are on tablets. They're just watching YouTube. They don't even know how to read. They don't know how to write. We're vulnerable right now. I don't know. Do we still have to keep fucking up our neighboring countries in order to have stability? I don't know. Are we at a point of no return? I'm not sure, man, but just Love your family. Love the country you live in, man. At least. Try to change your life. Try to see that maybe it's you have responsibility. Maybe you can take control of your life. Stop blaming people. At least, you know. At least try to get to know why you are how you are, and why society works the way it works. And maybe learn the game so you could stop being fooled, you know? It's hard to tell young people this because they just want to fit in. And so they just sort of evolve with the culture and the music and their friend groups and what seems popular, and then they have these half opinions. They're dangerous. Young people are dangerous when they're radicalized. They are. And we see that with Charlie Kirk's death. We see that. Peace.